Hello, my name is Whitney Conservic, and I am an executive coach. And I am so excited to be here with Christine Kutnick, who is also a coach, a joy coach who focuses on helping people through transitions. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to see you, Whitney.
Oh, it's good to see you too. Um, I have some questions for you so people can get to know you. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
All
it.
right. All right. So, can you tell me who are your ideal clients?
Well, my ideal clients are people who are ready to embrace change in order to find joy and inner peace in their life. So
Hmm.
they could be going through a variety of things. They could be going through becoming empty nesters, and feeling dissatisfied in their job. Maybe they want to start their own thing. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just need to change their company. Um, People going back on the dating scene. Any kind of change that is happening in their life. And they're kind of scared by it. So they're ready to figure out how to embrace that change.
Ah, yeah, what a great use of coaching. So tell me a little bit about your background. What drew you to this type of coaching?
So my husband and I quit our jobs 3.5 years ago. We were on that hamster wheel, like most of us get on that hamster wheel during life. And we decided it was time for us to jump off. I was in the nonprofit sector. My husband was a
Mm.
um, government employee. And we decided it was time for us to do something new. And the thing that just broke my heart the most was hearing from people who are friends and people we knew just say, I'm so envious. I have a dream that I want to do, and I don't know how to make it into a reality. And
Mm.
it just like pulled at my heart every time someone said that. And so, because of that, after we got back from our 6-month trip around Europe, I decided that I was ready to help people figure out how do they want to live their best life.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the challenges that some of your clients face.
Yeah, a lot of them face the fact that they're not quite sure what their purpose is, or they feel like, half of their life is up. And one of my joy writers, that's what I call my clients, one of my joy writers said it best. He said, Christy, I don't want to get to pearly gates and be embarrassed because I didn't do really what I was supposed to do.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I love that saying, it's true. We only have one life to live. And so let's do what we're called to do. We were given our dreams for a reason, and because somebody believed in us. The universe
Yeah,
believed in us. God, I call it Gus, God, universe, spiritual being. Somebody gave you that dream, and it's your job to live it out.
I love that. Gus. I'm gonna totally steal in that. So can you give me an example of what a breakthrough looks like?
Yeah. So, I mean, for my joy writers, breakthroughs could be anything. Sometimes it's sticking with a job because they know that it's moving them forward to what they are going to do. I have one joy writer who she was getting a little antsy in her
Mm.
current job. And she knew that when she retired, she was going to retire early, and that when she retired, she wanted to go live overseas. And so she was like, what do I do? How is this job going to move me forward? So by going through my calm system, getting clarity, creating an action plan on how you're going to live out your dream, figuring out what our limiting beliefs are that are blocking us from getting to movement and getting towards that dream, and then movement, actual making it happen. She was able to figure out that her current job gave her the flexibility. She was able to be gone all summer. And so she could go around and travel to different parts of the country to see what part of the country she wanted to live in, what other country she wanted to live in. It gave her extra money. She did not need as much money as she was making. So she was able to stash some money so she could go live overseas.
Mm.
Uh, and it gave her time and energy to be present with the people she loved that she was going to be leaving.
Mm.
And so she was able to figure out how to use that time to make some deep connections with her kids before she left the country. And then finally, she had to figure out what was she going to do with all her stuff.
Mm.
So it gave her time because it wasn't a really hard job. She had energy on the weekends to start getting rid of some of her stuff, to figuring out how to downsize. Does she want to sell her house? Does she want to rent it out? What is it she want to do? And so it made it a lot easier for her to go back in to that office every day because she knew it was just one step towards what her ultimate goal is.
Wow. Okay. So you really take complex situations that have a lot of different facets to them. And it sounds like you've dealt with, logistical issues, which are sort of the first ones we attack. There are some emotional things in there. There are certainly some of your own wants and needs and trying to gain perspective on how to prioritize those things. So really complex network of things to reach that objective.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the stuff that blocks us, right? It's the
Right.
logistics that
Yeah.
block us so often. So,
Yeah.
and so it helps you at the end of the day get out of bed so that you can move one step closer to what is it that you really want to do.
Ah,
Sometimes some of my clients quit their jobs and they do their thing right now because it makes sense for them. They have everything in place. And some people are like the joyrider I mentioned, who's like, okay, I know this is a 5-year plan and I know what I need to do each year of those
mm,
get to that point.
okay. Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like, hey, I need to do this in 6 weeks. It can be 6 years. So it doesn't, the timeline is up to the client.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And, I mean, to be honest, she was like, do I leave this job? And she realized, she's like, if I left it, what if I went to a place I loved more? Is it going to be harder for me to leave so I could
Mm,
go and do my dream? Is
mm,
that going to block me?
yeah.
So just kind of getting clarity on how each thing that is in her life right now is serving her towards
I
that
love that. Clarity and priorities. Love it.
dream. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so tell me about a coaching background. So if I'm going to look for a coach, what's important for them to have in their background and what are your qualifications?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think you always have to have the same exact background. My background, so I was a nonprofit professional for 25 years. And I do about 60 or 70% of my clients are nonprofit professionals. But I see people, C-suite people, I see a variety of different individuals. The key is that having the right education and the right training to
Mm,
able to help you address what is it that you want and make sure that it's focused on mindset and not actually on the logistics of it, right?
mm. Okay. Um, that makes a ton of sense to me. Can you help me dive a little deeper and tell me about your coaching philosophy?
Yeah. So my coaching philosophy is really based on the fact that we get what we receive. Um, I pick up my daughter. She's 24 now, but when she was in high school, she was a rower, and so she would never do her homework at night because she was tired after doing crew
Mhm.
during the day. So she would get up super early in the morning and do her homework. Well, sometimes she didn't get up as early as she wanted, and some of that homework kind of got squashed into a really short time frame because she had to go to school. She was out of time. And so there were times that she would just literally scratch something on paper and turn it in for an essay. And she was always frustrated by the fact that it wasn't as she didn't get the grade she wanted. It wasn't as good as
Mm,
she wanted. And she didn't get the grade. Uh, so the energy she put into it was the energy she got back.
mm.
And so that's
Okay.
one of my big philosophies. We talk about energy do you want to put into this in
Mm,
order to get something back? The other big thing when we talk about energy is that we go down to whatever energy somebody is communicating.
mm,
So when my daughter was in elementary school, she had a good friend, and her mother was always talking bad stuff about other people. And I would fall into that trap, right? After a while, when somebody is, gossiping and stuff like that, I would fall into that trap. And I never liked it. I never felt good about myself when I walked out.
mm,
And so you kind of go into that level, whatever level somebody's in, a lot of times you'll go into that. So we also talk about who do you want to surround yourself with in order to be who you want to be.
mm. And how important is it for your clients to have the same values as you?
Nobody should have the same values as me. That's what makes me unique and special, right? We have to be able to be comfortable with those values. Um, but at the end of the day, nobody should have the exact same. And it's really fun to see people kind of uncover what are their values are. and which ones are important to them versus which ones they have been gifted. A lot of
Mm.
times we are gifted values from our parents and from society. And so looking at what our values are and owning them or discounting them and letting them go is a lot of fun. And it's really, really refreshing when people can say, oh, I've been holding on to that value and I really, it's not serving me and it's eating at my joy because I don't care about it.
Ah, that's awesome. I love the thread of fun and joy that you're weaving through your practice and your clients and really the way that you come at life and interactions with your clients. So it's been a pleasure to sit and talk with you for a few minutes and learn all about your coaching and about you. And I look forward to connecting with you soon in the future.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Whitney. You take
Thanks.
care. Bye
You too.
bye.
Bye.